Right.
Good evening, everyone.
Lataraf, how are you?
Baruch Hashem, thank you. Okay, we're starting a new chapter. So it says here, היו לפניו מינים הרבה, רבי יהודה אומר, אם יש בהם ממין שבעה. So now we spoke about before in the last chapter about mistakes, all kinds of things like this. Now we're talking about the priorities of the blessings, So it's telling you that if you have like several types of fruits, you have amongst them also the 7 species, right? So what happens is that they have the priority over the other fruits. So therefore you should bless on them. So brings a bit Yosef the source for this. Mishnah Beper Kitzam Mevrachim. It's in the Masechet Brachot Mem Amud Bet. Gemara also in the Gemara Mem Aleph Amud Aleph. Amar Ula Machloket Kishem Birchoten Shavot. So he says the Machloket is only regarding when the blessing is the same with all the fruits. Rabbi Yehuda Savar min Shiv'a Adif. So Rabbi Yehuda holds that the 7 species takes precedence over the others. But Rabbanan Savar min Chaviv Adif. And the rabbis hold that the one you like the most takes precedence. But if their blessings are not equal, so I mean to say, some of them are Hadama, not all of them are Ha'etz. So there, Klomar Kigon Sanot. For instance, let's say you have radish and olives, right? One is ha'etz, one is hadama. So then everybody agrees that you're going to bless on this and then bless on the other. Okay, so says Rashi regarding that. For instance, so Rashi says, right, when do we say that the blessings are equal? For instance, you have olives and apples, right? They're both ha'etz. They're both fruits of the tree. And he's coming to absolve both of them with one blessing. But if they're not equal, the blessings, so then everybody agrees that one blessing will not absolve both of them. So therefore there's no machloket here. So again, right, what are we talking about here? Talking about if, when you have 2 types of fruits, one is from the tree, one is from the ground, can you make one blessing on both of them and absolve both of them? And the answer is no. So he says, right, that from the Perush here, the explanation, if they are the blessings are the same, so then you can when they're not the same, they're not equal, so therefore you can bless on whichever one you like. That's what the Rif says also. And this is the halacha, by the way, in the Shulchan Aruch, that when you have ha'etz and hadama, you can take whichever one you like the most, and bless on that first. Okay, great. So that's what Tosfot says. Tosfot. So he says, since their blessings are not the same, since one does not absolve the other, so he says, right, even Rabbi Yehuda admits the en adifut v'shiva minim. There, right, the 7 species do not have priority over the others. As we said, right, he's blessed on whichever one he wants. Right? In other words, the one he likes the most, whatever, right? So then he's going to bless on the second one. That's what it says also in Rabbeinu Yonah. That when the blessings are not equal, then you should take the one you like the most. Rashba also says that. Also named Rabbeinu Hai, Gaon, dat Samak. And that's also the opinion of the Samak. But the Rosh says that it seems to me, since he didn't say that you can bless on so I'll read that one more time. I didn't say it right, perhaps. One more time. So it says like this, right? The Rosh says, seems to me that since he didn't say, right, mevarech al eze v'chozer mevarech al eze chaviv adif. So he says, right, since he didn't say do this and do that, in other words, whatever happens to come your way. So you see from there, he says the Rosh that the one you like the most is, the preferred one when it comes to priority. So it says even though, so we see from there that even if one of them is more, he likes more the other one of them, he can bless on the other one. Because he does have to bless on the second one after he eats the first one. So therefore, it's not really the issue of which one you like more. Because one has nothing to do with the other, 2 different blessings. So it says that which they attributed to Rabbi Yehuda, right, the issue of priority, that you should do first the 7 species, and the rabbis, they say that it's the one you like the most. That's only if both of them are absolved with one blessing. That's the end of the thing there. Right, it says furthermore, Harosh, the Rosh says furthermore, so if you're going to ask me, he says, how did the rabbis say that the one you like the most is preferable? Because we said later on, but doesn't it say, right, we mentioned this already a while ago, if you remember, right, last week, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, that, we have this verse over there, right? And there's priorities over there, in terms of the list of fruits there. So, that's the way it goes, right? That list is the priority according to the order in that list. So if that's the case, how are we going to do the one you like the most, right? We have, this contradicts that concept. All the more so, he says, you should, right, give priority to the one which is mentioned in the verse than the one which is not mentioned in the verse at all. B'sheva charetz, right, in terms of the blessings in terms of the praises of the land. So he says we have to say that that the one that's right, the one that comes first on that list, right? That's going according to Rabbi Yehuda. V'chol hanach emora'eh, the sabre lekaman. This is all these emoraim that hold later on. Mekudam b'pasuk, mekudam b'bracha. That whichever one comes first in the verse also has priority with the blessing. Rabbi Yehuda Sriel, they hold like Rabbi Yehuda. V'chen pasak bahag, and Rabbi Bahag also says like that. Rabbi Yehuda like Rabbi Yehuda. V'chen katav Rabbeinu Yonah, also Rabbeinu Yonah. The Mordechai, right? Also, all the Rishonim seem to go like Rabbi Yehuda here. כתב, מורך כתב דלרב היי רש"י הלכה כרבנן. So he says, right, the Mordechai, on the other hand, according to Rav Hai and Rashi, we pass like the rabbis, right, not like Rabbi Yehuda. וגם הרשב"א כתב שדת רבנו היי דהלכה כרבנן. So the Rashba also brings us, that we, according to Rav Hai, we pass like the rabbis, not like Rabbi Yehuda. So guess what, right? No surprise. We see there's a machloket here as well, like everything else, right? No big surprise there. So fine. So he says, "Mikom makom katav sheTosfot veRavad pasku keRabbi Yehuda." But he says, on the other hand, the Tosfot and the Ravad paskin like Rabbi Yehuda. V'lozei iskim hu zal. He also agreed to that. The Rashba. The Gama Mordechai Katav, also Mordechai says, Sharam Pasak Rabbi Yehuda, that the Ram paskins like Rabbi Yehuda, but he add mitoch leshono. So he says it seems like from his language, Shagam Hu Sover Ken, that he also holds that way. Vechan Pasak Samag. And also the Smag paskins that way as well. But Katav Od the Rosh says furthermore, Ve'im Tomar Mai Shana Dil Rabbi Yehuda Kishibir Katan Shaveh. So if you're going to ask me, right, what is the significance according to Rabbi Yehuda that when the blessing is equal, what does that have to do with our discussion? Or it's equal or not equal? What does that have to do with it? With the priorities, right? So he says he answers. Sharich le'akdim shivat aminim kishen b'katan shaveh arad. They can tell me when their blessings are not equal, then we don't have to give priority to the 7 species. And sharich le'akdim v'yesh lomar devadai kishen b'katan shaveh b'kat bracha echad poter. So he says the thing is like this: when the blessing is equal, right, then one blessing absolves all of them, as we said. So there, right, the logic is that you should bless on first the 7 species, give priority to those. And then absolve the other one. But when you have to bless on each one, right, and they're not really related one to the other, right? Because they're different blessing. Since you have to bless on the second one anyway, after you do the first one, so there you can bless whichever one you like. So therefore he says if they brought before him 2 species, then and they're not from the 7 species. For instance, right, etrog and apple. So you're going to take the one you like the most first. Give priority to that one. Okay, great. So according to everybody, because the blessing is equal, then so he says if there is amongst them, right, 7 species, so then we hold like then we say, right, that the 7 species takes priority over them. So therefore you should bless on that. Right? Even though the other one he likes more. That's the end of the Rosh, right? This was the Rosh here. Seems so, yeah. Okay, great. So that's the story there. Let's move on. So it says, even though that afterwards, כתב וליני ירד מדלא כמר מברך על זה, that it says, even though that afterwards he said, right, it seems to me that since he didn't say to bless on this one, the choser מברך על זה, and then bless on that one, the chaviv adif, and the one you like the most is preferable. Alma afilu echad mehem chaviv yachol. Therefore, you see from there that even if one of them he likes more, yachol levarech al Hashem, he can still bless on the other one. In other words, do what you want. It doesn't matter. No, nothing matters. Right? That's it. Do it. It's a free country. Do what you want to do. That's basically the idea, according to the Rosh here. That's when the blessing is not equal, he says. The Parash Tama, like explains the reasoning there. Since you have to bless on the second one after you bless on the first one, so therefore right there, the priority doesn't go to the one you like the most, but rather to the one you want to now for some reason, whatever it may be, right? Doesn't really matter. Okay, fine. So that's that. But he says when the blessings are equal, though, but then right, the one you like the most is the preferred one. That's when you don't have seven species. And he says even though that he wrote that which they attribute to Rabbi Yehuda, the priority with the seven species, and with the rabbis, the one we like the most. That's only if both of them are absolved with one blessing. Because it implies that according to Rabbi Yehuda, right, it doesn't really, it doesn't really depend on which one you like. It has nothing to do with it. That's when they have seven species. But if they don't have seven species, so it says then we don't make a machloket between them. So therefore there, the one you like the most will take priority. So that's the way he explains it, right? Okay, nice perush. Okay, what else we got here? Who's saying this? This was the Bet Yosef. This was in conclusion here. Okay, this was a summary of all the the various opinions that are going on here. That which Rabbeinu wrote to Tur, שאם בכל פעם אחד מהם חביב עליו, and that if that every time, right, so one of them is you like more than the other, יותר, more so, אפילו אם מחפץ אתה במין השני, if he wants the other type right now, צריך לברך עליו מן החביב. You still have to go according to one you like, he says, עליו. Okay, that's interesting. So the two wrote this. The truth is that the Rosh seems to have written differently. Okay, well, let's see. Right, that's what it says Rabbeinu Yonah. Rosh also. That you should bless on the one you like the most first. So I guess we have to say it doesn't contradict the Rosh. Why? Because over here it's talking about where there's no seven species. Okay, so anyway, we'll see how it's summarized in the Shulchan Aruch. A little bit confusing, all this, right? How to make sense out of it. So let's go to Shulchan Aruch. Maybe I have to bring it up because it's a new chapter. Very possible. Very possible. Okay. So this chapter is not this one. This is Reish Yud Aleph. Okay, yeah, I got to bring it up. All right, here we go. Okay, so it says here, let's say he had several species right in front of him. He has a nice big table, fruits, like we did on Tu B'Shvat, right? Something like that. So, this is when we study these laws, before Tu B'Shvat, because we have to know the laws of priorities. So I usually give a class on this, before Tu B'Shvat to explain to people how to do it. So this is a nice review, right? After we already ate the fruits Tu B'Shvat. Okay, we can review it now and see if we did everything right. So what does it say here? If the blessing is equal in all of them, so you have 7 species there. Makdim zain, you gotta give that the priority. 7 species. Even though he doesn't really like it so much, he's not a big fig fan. He's not a fig fan, but figs are 7 species. So you got to give that priority. Okay. The but if you don't have 7 species, you have your garden variety of the fruits, right? Peaches, apricots, right? Apples, pears. There's no 7 species there. So what do you do there? Makdima chaviv. So then take the one you like. Take the one you like. If the blessing is not equal, that's a different story, right? Even if you have 7 species there, for instance, let's say you have radish and you have olives. So then take the one you like the most. The one you want. It doesn't really say even the one you like. It says the one you want. Okay. Even though it's not your favorite one, it's just that right now you want it for some reason, right? Whatever it may be. But some say, right, you have to go with the one you like, right? We saw that in the tour. And he said like that. Even in this case, you have to do the one you like. But bottom line is right that apparently we passed like the first opinion. So which one do we say you like the most? The one that you usually, have, you prefer usually. That's the one you like the most. Even though right now he wants the other one, like he's got some kind of a, he's got some kind of a thing for the other one right now. Some kind of a desire there. Okay, so what's halacha? Let's recap, right? We said that if you have only one bracha for all fruits, or let's say, right? So then you go with the 7 species and give that priority. And if there's 2 blessings there going on, ha'etz hadama, so then you take the one you like the most. But on the other hand, I skipped something here. So I'll say that last part again. But if there's 2 blessings over here, ha'etz hadama, so then you go the one you want, right? According to the first opinion. Doesn't matter whether you like it or you don't like it. And right now you want this one. And then there's another opinion, right, that says, no, you go with the one you like the most. Now, what does that mean? You like the most? Usually, you prefer that one, right? That's your bread and butter kind of thing. Okay, great. So halakha is going to be like the first opinion. You should go. You should take the one you want, not the one you like. Okay, great. So that's that. So I guess we'll move on to bet. So this is Gimel. We got to go to bet. Let's see what we got here. This one. Okay. So it says here, the Rambam Katab, right? It says in the Rambam, where is this? Perket Allah Hayud Gimel. Hayu lefanav minim marbe. Let's say he had several species. Im hayu birkotem shavot. If the blessings are equal, mevarech al echad mehem upoter et hashar. He's going to bless on one of them and absolve the other. Ve'im and birkotem shavot. If their blessings are not equal, mevarech al kol echad mehem bracha choriyalo. So then you're going to bless on each one the proper blessing for it. So the Rambam says you can give priority to anyone, right? Makdim. So if you don't want one more than the other, right? That's when you can do what you want. So then, right? If you have from the 7 species there, you're going to bless on that first. Seems like he explains that the rabbis and the Rabbi Yehuda only argued that one of them he likes more than the other. The Rabbanan Sabre, because there the rabbis hold Chaviv Adif, the one you like is preferred. But Rabbi Yehuda Sabar and Rabbi Yehuda holds Shiva Adif, the 7 species is better. But if one of these species is not really more beloved to him, more than the other one. So then everybody agrees you should do the 7 species first. They also there the had the Amar Ula. So Rambam holds that which Ula said. If their blessings are not equal, everybody agrees that you're going to bless on one and then the other. So he says that's not coming to give you the rules of priority. Rather, it means to tell you that one is not going to absolve the other. You have to bless on both of them. Like the Rosh explains according to Bahag. So the Rambam paskins like the Chachamim, not like Rabbi Yehuda. And that which he said, right, that if there was many species there, if the blessings are equal, so you're going to bless on one of them and absolve the other. And if the blessings are not equal, so then you're going to bless on each one the proper blessing, right? So it says, he didn't say this regarding priority. What he's telling you is that if they're equal, you bless on one and absolve the other. But just don't make too many blessings, right? One blessing is enough for all of them. Why have to make so many blessings? Um, so then one's not going to absolve the other. Like Ulu said. Okay. But on the other hand, if their blessings are not equal, right? One is Ha'etz, one is Adama. So then one is not going to absolve the other, right? You have to make a blessing for the Adama. That's for sure. Umash katav ve'ezeh mem shirtzeh lakdim, and that what she wrote, that whichever one he wants to give priority makdim, that he gives priority to that. I know lomar sheim haya min echad chaviv lo means to say that if one type was more beloved to him, ben birchoten shavot, whether the blessings are equal, ben shenu shavot, or they're not equal, ben shesh ben mimin shiva, whether they have 7 species, ben shenu ben mishva, or whether they don't have 7 species, maktima chaviv. So there you go with the one you like the most, kirabanan, like the rabbis. The amre chaviv adif, because they said that the one you like takes precedence. Okay. Okay, we're almost done with this. Umash katav ve'im eno rotzeh levazeh yoter mivazeh. And that what she wrote the Rambam, that if he doesn't want one more than the other, and there's 7 species there, blesses on that. First of all, it comes according to every opinion. The ben birchoten shavot, ben enan shavot, whether the blessings are equal or not, since one of them is not preferred over the other, more than its fellow. If there is 7 species there, Modu Rabbanan, so the rabbis will admit that it takes priority. And that what she wrote, to give priority to the one he wants, instead of taking the one he likes the most, it seems like he's not explaining according to Rabbeinu in the Rosh. The preferred is the one that he prefers most of the time. So therefore, according to him, right, the one you like the most is the one you want now. That's what he means to say. Aha. That's what he said, that whichever one he wants to give precedence to. אותו המין שהוא רוצה בו, the one that he wants now, עכשיו יותר מחברו, more than the other one, לכן אין רוצה, הוא רוצה, therefore he wants להקדימו, he wants to give it priority right now, because he wants it right now. He's got like a taste for it right now, So he says, because the way it is, the way of the world is that the one a person, usually likes, he's going to take that first. So he says, therefore, since now it's preferred to him, more than the other, therefore he should give it priority. Okay, that's bet. Okay, so basically here, he's giving you the opinion of the Rambam, which, as opposed to the first halakha, that we gave just a general halakha. So let's see what he says in Shulchan Aruch about that. Says Shulchan Aruch like this: according to Rambam, he says if one he likes more than the other, ben shebikotem shavot, ben shavot, whether the blessing is equal or not. Right, ben shesh ben mimin zayin, whether it has 7 species, ben shenem mimin zayin, or doesn't have makdima chaviv lo. Right, so he basically, this is what it is. The Rambam paskins like the rabbis, not like Rabbi Yehuda. So what does that mean? That whatever you like the most, that's the one you take, no matter what. That's what it is. So this is definitely not what we saw in the first halacha, right? Machloket. So then he says, but if he doesn't want one more than the other, he's just like neutral, he doesn't really want anything more than the one than the other. Just everything is equal, All fruits are created equal. So there, if you have a seven species, then you go with that, we go with that. That's according to Rambam. So what's the halacha? Apparently we don't pass like the Rambam, right? Which is, stam beyesh here. Pretty much what it is, So therefore we're going to go according to the first opinion, which means that we pass like Rabbi Yehuda, not like the rabbis. Oh, there you go. Okay, very good. So we'll move on. We have some more time. Let's see what we got. So just to tell you guys, right? Tomorrow is Purim, tomorrow night. So the question is, do you guys want to do a class tomorrow night?
Yes.
Okay. The thing is, that we're gonna have to eat first because we're fasting tomorrow. So if you guys are okay to do it later, that's the only way we can do it, pretty much. Okay. So instead of doing it, let's say 8:30, we'd have to do it probably. I'll tell you, maybe 9:30. Yeah. So for Esther, that's like 7:30. Not too bad. Okay. But for the rest of us, it's really 9:30. So, okay, whatever. So, if you guys want to do that, we could try that out. So,
I'm okay with this time code.
okay, yeah. So tentatively, we'll make it for 9:30, right?
Thank you.
So just, I'm warning you guys, don't drink too much tomorrow night, because otherwise, you're not gonna understand me what I'm talking about. You're gonna be like tipsy, So, chill out, tomorrow.
I'll drink, then it'll all make sense.
Okay. I'm joking. Okay, whatever, right? So you guys, we'll continue now. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Okay, we're going to Gimel now. It's a big zechut, to learn on Purim. It's a very holy day, and most people are like running around, like chickens, with their heads chopped off. They're a little bit, unfocused on Purim. So if a person can get focused and learn, that's a very big accomplishment for Purim. Okay. But also you have to remember, ladies, you got to hear the Megillah tomorrow. Don't forget. So I don't know, if you guys can handle that. Can you handle doing the class and hearing the Megillah? Can you handle that?
Don't we have to do the Megillah before we break fast?
So the way it works is like this, right? Yeah, it's true. But the truth is that you could do it also after. I'll tell you how it works, okay, ladies. Um, the regular schedule is like this. You go for Mincha and Arvit. You guys don't have to do that really so much. And then after Arvit, they do the Megillah. Okay? Um, so then we go home and eat. But the thing is, sometimes women go to a later reading because, the husbands go, right? And they have to babysit and all the kind of stuff like that, right? But okay, so you guys don't need to do that. You don't need to do a later one. but you got to go to some reading, I'm just reminding you guys, so you hear the Megillah. I'm not going to be reading it, so don't rely on me. Okay. All right. So you guys got to take care of that, whatever, right? I hope it works out for you. Um, okay, so we'll go to Dalid, I think. Yeah. Gimel, I'm sorry, Gimel. I just want to make sure here. We're doing Gimel. It's a little bit out of order, this Bet Yosef here. It's not the first time you've seen that, right? We've seen that before. Okay. So it says here in Gimel, מה שכתב רבנו, ואם הביאו לפניו דבר אשר ברכתו בורא פרי העץ. So it says, right, that what about if they brought something which was ha'etz, but the barash b'kato shakol, and yeah, and also there's shakol. So what happens over there? So we got to see inside the tour because he didn't bring this whole quote over here. He left us in suspense here. Okay, let's see what we got. Right, so it says the tour over here. Shakol b'bore pi ha'etz kodemet. So bore pi ha'etz comes before shakol. That's what he says. שהיא חשובה שאינה פותרת אלא דבר אחד שהכל כוללת כל הדברים. So he says, why is that? Because, Bore Pi Ayetz is more prominent than Shakol, right? Because it's like a general blessing. And this one is more specific. So therefore it takes priority. That's what he says. Ah, there you go. So then he continues, Bore Pi Adama, Shakol, Bore Pi Adama, right? Bore Pi Adama, Kodemet. Same thing with Bore Pi Adama, right? It'll come before Shakol. Katab Bahag, okay, I guess we'll stop there and let's see. I guess we'll read that too. So it says like this: Katab Bahag. Bahag says, "Shebirkat Briyatz Kolemet Briyadama." So right, Briyatz comes before Hadama. He says, takes priority. Our Adonai Avirosal Katab Shen Shabot, but the Rosh says they're equal. Oh wow, that doesn't mean she'll say Yivarech, so you can bless either one that he wants. Techila. So we already paskined, right, that you can do whatever you want, if you recall. We already said that. So okay, fine. So let's see how Bet Yosef, right, analyzes this whole thing. So says Bet Yosef, Peketz Nevrachim. It's over there in Lamed Tet Amud Aleph in Brachot. Gabe Uvda Dehan Hu Tre Talmid Dehavu Yat Vekamed Devar Kapara. So there's a story over there. There was two Talmidim who were sitting in front of Bar Kapara. Bar Kapara is a rabbi. Oh, right. Aminan Lagleg Savar Shelakot. And we said, Umlagleg Savar Shelakot Bore Pri Hadama Pargyot Shakol Yilkach Pera Adif. So he says, right, that pretty much what we just said, that Borei Pia Etz is preferred to Shakol. Peresh Rashi explains that Birkat Borei Pi Adama, he bracha chashuva leatzma. So he says Borei Pi Adama also, right? It's more prominent than Shakol. ודברים חשובים והיה לדברים חשובים והיה לא להקדימה, so they should take down that first. וגם תוספות also said כתוב שם אם יש לו שני מיני פירות, so he says if you have two types of fruits, חביב עדיף, then the one you like the most is preferred. ובורא פרי אדמה עדיפה משהכל, but הדמה is preferred to שהכל. Why is that more specific? וחשובה לעצמה מקריאת right, so he says, right, so it's like more important, whatever, more prominent. V'varech al oto min, so you bless on that. Shach bo priyadama, which is the priyadama. אף על פי שאותו מין שיש לברך עליו שהכל חביב לו, even though the שהכל he likes better, right? But the hadama is more specific, so you do that first. Ah, וכן כתב רשב"א, so the Rashba says too. והמורדכי also, ואהה דאמר אולה שם, אבל כשאין ברכותיהן שוות, and that which Ula said, that when their blessings are not equal, mevarech al zeh v'chozer u'mevarech al zeh, then he's going to bless on one and right and the other. Pirshu Rashi v'arif, and the Rif and the Rashi explained the al ezemen should say ivarech. He could bless on whichever one he wants. Katav Rosh says the Rosh regarding that. V'tema the mistama borei pri ha'etz chashib mi borei pri adama. So he says it's a little bit of a wonder here. Why? Because apparently, right, ha'etz should be better than hadama. Mishum de mivoret because it's more specific than hadama. The borei pi adama kolel kol gadel b'dabak. Why? Because borei pi adama includes everything which grows in the ground. But borei pi etz mivorech dafka al ma shegadal beinan. But etz, right, is only for something which grows on the tree. Mehai tama aminan le'el. So it says because of this reason we said above the uvdat de bar kapara, right, with the story of kapara kapara. The birkat borei pri adama chashiva mi birkat shakol. That's why we said hadama is better than shakol. The fish shehu mevoret yoter because it's more specific. יש לומר דלא בעל ישמינו, just one second. Okay, so yeah, I guess we can try to finish this one. Let's see if we can knock it off this one. Din הקדמה כלל, so he says not really coming to teach us the issue of priority, אלא שאין האחד פותר את החברו. What he means to say is that one does not absolve the other. לא משמע הכי, but he says the language doesn't imply like that. דאם כן, because if so, הווה לילה מימר, should have said, אין האחד פותר את החברו. Then one doesn't absolve the other. הילקח נראה דברי Rabbi, so he says, therefore Rabbi seems more plausible. והריף Rashi, and also the Rashi, דברך על איזה מן שירצה, he can bless on whichever one he wants. עד כאן לשון, that's the end of it. וגם רבנו יונה כתב בכל דברי הראש בזה. Rabbi Yonah also said the same thing as the Rosh. נמצא דלדת הראש, so it comes out, right, in terms, right, according to the Rosh, איך הביאו לפניו מיני פירות שלושה חילוקים בדבר. If they brought him all types of fruits, right, there's three different compartments over here. Right, im and birkoten shavot, if their blessings are not equal, even though there's 7 species there, kagon tzidon v'zait, for instance, as we said, right, radish and olives. So then you can, to give precedence to eat whichever one you want. Even it's not the beloved one. But if their blessings are equal, and then you have the right 7 species there, so then 7 species takes priority. Even though it's not right preferred like the other one. Ve'im Birkoten Shavot, Ve'im Benehen, and if their blessings are equal, and you don't have amongst them Mimin Shiv'a, right? Seven species, Makdim Achaviv. So then he's gonna give priority to the one he likes the most. Leave it Hashem Mefarshim, but according to the other authorities, right? According to the other commentaries, Bain Birkoten Shavot Nami Makdim. Even when their blessings are not equal, you have to give priority to the Chavib, the one you like the most. Ben Yesh Ben Mimin Shiva Ben En Ben, whether you have the seven species or not. So Mordechai, that when the blessings are not equal, Nami Makdim means Shiva, so you have to give priority to the seven species. So it seems to explain that which Ula said about when the blessings are not equal. He blesses on this and then on the other. That means to say, that in this matter, even the rabbis admit the makdim means shiv'ah, so you should give priority to the seven species. Because this one is not absolved with the blessing of the other one, two different species, two different types of blessings. But this is the opposite of all the other commentaries that we wrote. Okay, so the truth is, a lot of the stuff that he wrote here in this Bet Yosef, we already covered it, in the Shulchan Aruch. But anyway, right, we'll see Shulchan Aruch here, and we'll stop here. This will be our final Shulchan Aruch for the night until the Purim holiday. Billy Neder. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. If you ladies drink too much, we're going to have to cancel the class. I hope you guys don't do that. Okay. I'm joking. Okay. I hope I don't drink too much. Okay. I have to worry about myself first.
We're not letting you out very easily.
Okay, well, somebody's gonna have to come and wake me up then. If that's the case. I'm joking. I'm not even planning to drink tomorrow. I'll tell you honestly, tomorrow night. I mean, not tomorrow night. I'm not gonna. I'll drink, on Friday, right? Something else. Maybe I'll have one tomorrow night, one something. No, I'm not gonna go crazy tomorrow night. Okay, that's good. So yeah, let's do Shulchan Aruch and we're done. So it says here in Gimel, have you lefanav davar shebirkato b'pe'etz? Let's say they brought something which is ha'etz, right? Davar shebirkato shakol, and that's shakol. So ber pe'etz kodemet shehi chashuva. So ber pe'etz comes first, right? Why? It's more prominent. Why? Because it's more specific. That's the reason why. V'chen ber adama shakol. All same thing. Adama and shakol, same thing. Ber adama kodemet. Ber adama will come first, more specific. But if it's ber etz and ber adama, we already said, right? You can do whichever one you want. We don't give priority one over the other. They're all the same. Some say ber etz comes first. There's the opinion we saw in Bet Yosef, but we don't paskin like that. Okay, so that's it. Okay, fine, great. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, right, Chazak Baruch, thanks for coming. Be blessed with wealth and health and happiness. Laila Tov, have an easy fast and a great Purim holiday, B'ezrat Hashem. And if we're lucky, we'll meet tomorrow, if we can pull it off. All right, B'ezrat Hashem. We'll hope for the best. God bless.
Kavod Harav, thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you, Rabbi.
God bless.